Alright, off we go. It's the Ryan Hartson Show on BWC Internet Radio. I'm Ryan Hartson. Good to be in. On the program today, we are going to be breaking down the Western Conference Finals. Game 4 is tonight between Dallas and Oklahoma City. This one in Oklahoma City. Corey will be doing a preview, or a review rather, of Heat Bulls Game 3. Heat get the big win last night. Corey will break that down at some point for you this evening. I know you're all looking forward to that. As shifting over now, breaking down the Western Conference, quick review. We'll go back through the series. Mavericks win a somewhat tight one in Game 1. Dirk obviously had 48 points. That was his big game. Really kind of took the thunder to the woodshed on that one. Durant had 40, though. Kevin Durant keeping Oklahoma City close for most of the evening. Dallas wins relatively easily. Then in Game 2, Oklahoma City, the big win in Dallas, as I saw. As I saw that coming, I figured they'd tie it up. Durant did a good job. Russell Westbrook, we've talked about this, sat the entire fourth quarter because essentially he threw a bitch fit. We went over this all on JMFPSP on Saturday. And then you've got that game Saturday night where it was an absolute drubbing. Miami. Dallas took Oklahoma City to the woodshed. Dirk didn't have the biggest game. Jason Kidd had a big game. Their bench dominated. Their shooters dominated. So they had the Thunder had a really hard time going in this game. And then give Russell Westbrook the credit. He had a huge fourth quarter, kept Oklahoma City in the game, brought them almost all the way back. It was just too much to overcome a 25-point deficit, despite how much time you have. It wasn't Kevin Durant, it was Westbrook. And like we said, that is why Westbrook is there. Westbrook is there. He is your second legitimate scorer. When your first option isn't hitting, like Durant was not, Westbrook dropped 30 points, kept them in the game, brought them back almost by himself. It was his night. He dominated. Had a big 30-point performance. Like we said, he's going to need to have in this series. Unfortunately, Oklahoma City were falling all over themselves in the first two quarters, and it was just too much to overcome. So now you go into Game 4, where Dallas just looks like the better team now. Like, if Nowitzki doesn't have to have a big night, and they can still win relatively easily, that is a team that can win a championship. Dallas defends pretty well. Dirk, obviously, is the great player on the team. They have fantastic shooters, and pretty good. They do a really good job of defending Oklahoma City on offense. Kendrick Perkins is struggling. Durant can't hit from 3. He's like 5 from 18 or something like that. It's crazy how bad Kevin Durant has been from 3. He's probably taking too many threes, but I'm not gonna get into that too much. Is he taking too many? Is he did? Kevin Durant, at the end of the day, he's gonna take the shots he thinks he needs to take. I'm gonna trust Durant's judgment on that. Was he taking bad shots in game? Did they lose game 1? Maybe it was game. I'm going all the way back to game 6 against Memphis now. He took a lot of bad shots in game 6 against Memphis, in that 11-point clunker. Had 20-something points in the last game. It was Westbrook's night. Unfortunately, they could not get it done. So now you look, what can they do tonight? What can they do in Game 4? And my answer is, I have no idea. I don't know what they can do. It's interesting that a series that I felt was so even, you watch that game, to blow somebody out in their building is just impossible to do. Miami can't blow out Chicago in Chicago. They can't do it. The Bulls have too many defenders, right? But Oklahoma City, who is, in my opinion, Chicago's superior on a variety of levels, get blown out in their own building. Why? I said it in my list of grievances even. Going back to the Thunders Have Issues segment I did. It was after Game 6, so a week ago. A little more. About 10 days ago, we had that Thunder Have Issues segment where I had my list of grievances, and I had told you what I thought was wrong with the Oklahoma City Thunder, and then I said at the end of the day they're just too young. We're a year early on Oklahoma City. I can see that going through the playoffs. I can change my opinion. Like I said, I always say this: when the facts change, the opinions have to. And when there's new information, you can't just keep believing the same old crap. The information has changed now. Dallas looks better. They have more experience. They have better shooting. At the end of the day, this series, as I've been saying, comes down to, can Oklahoma City defend the three and can they make the three? At the end of the day, they can't defend the three ball, and they're having a hard time making the three as well. That's the difference. Perkins isn't having a good series at all. Durant's have been having his issues. Westbrook, the Thunder have issues that have kind of sprung up in this series because Dallas is so good. They're a really good team. I love Dirk. I've never been this high on Dirk Nowitzki as I am right now. I am much higher today on Dirk Nowitzki than I have been at any point watching him. You feel like this is finally his year. His year to at least get back to the finals. I don't know if he can. I don't know if they can beat Miami. We'll have to think about that. Yeah, but to me, in a game 3 that means so much, he doesn't have to have his biggest game. The best player didn't have to have the big game, and Dallas's shooters took over. The Thunder fell over themselves for a while. I mean, they blew him out essentially, and Dirk didn't even have a big game. I mean, Dirk didn't even score a bucket until what? The third quarter. I mean, it was almost embarrassing what happened to Oklahoma City. So, can the Thunder respond? This is a young team. Your best players are 22 years old. That is what we forget about this team. I mean, that is why I am not willing to criticize this team yet. This is the first year where they've really been in the thick of it. And their two best players are 22 years old. How are they going to respond in a championship scenario? How are they going to respond to a team that it looks like right now, with everything considered, with the shooting, with how good Dirk can be, with Jason Kidd distributing, with the Thunder sometimes having problems, flat out shooting the three specifically. The fact that you've got all these issues now, how do you respond to this kind of cloud that has come over Oklahoma City? How are your best players going to respond? Tonight, it has to be Durant. It has to be Westbrook. Can they get it together to win this game? Okay, now I have been very high on Oklahoma City from the start. I thought they were going to win this series. All it is that it's a year too soon. That's all it is. They're a year too soon. They're just too young. I mean, is it exciting that they're really good. I mean, they probably have the most raw talent in the NBA. When you think about Durant, Westbrook, Harden, James Harden, where the hell did he come from? He is a dude. I mean, he can get it done. And you've got these young guys, this young nucleus. They're really, with Perkins in the mix, no Jeff Green, they're really together as a unit for the first time. How can this team respond in a championship scenario? And is it a year too soon? And I'm going to, you're asking these questions now. That's what I'm doing. I'm putting these questions out there. I'm going to answer them. I'm going to say Durant and Westbrook, it is a year too soon. I mean, that's just obvious. The fact that you can't get this is the most raw talent in the NBA. They're just too young. That's it. They're too young. They can't do it. They haven't been through it enough yet. I mean, this is a guy. I mean, and your best players as well. Durant's a one and done college player, not a ton of NCAA tournament experience. And Westbrook was a 2-year college player at UCLA, and not a point guard until playing in the NBA. He hadn't run the point until he put on that 0 in Oklahoma City. So everything is too soon, right? They're not done yet. They're still cooking. We took them out too soon, right? It's hot enough on top, but in the middle, it's still a little cold. You got to put it back in for another 30 seconds or so. They'll be ready to win a title next year because they're good enough. I mean, they could totally win the whole thing this year. I don't know. I don't know what could happen. but this is a year too early. The Mavericks are too good, and I think Dallas is going to win tonight, and I think they're going to win the series. I think Dallas might end up winning the rest of the games in this series. Right, 3-1. You go back home for Game 5, and you get it done in 5 games. I think that's what's going to end up happening as well. I like Dallas wrapping this thing up, winning the next game, winning the game after that. I'm off. I'm jumping off the Oklahoma City. I wasn't really on the bandwagon. I just liked this team, and they're a more interesting team, which is why I've been following them more on this program specifically. But I'm off. Whatever I was on, whatever I was riding, I'm sending. And I said I adopted the Oklahoma City Thunder. I don't know if I can't remember the first time I said that. I know I said it on JMFPSP on Saturday, but I'm sending the kids back to the orphanage. If you get what I'm saying, I'm off. Done with Oklahoma City. Dallas is going to win in 5 games. It's I can change my mind. When the facts change, your opinions have to, and the facts have changed. Problems have arisen from Oklahoma City that had not been foreseen, and Dallas is playing considerably better than I thought they were capable of. And then you look at what they have on their roster, and they were totally capable of it from square one. I just missed it, and that's on me. So I missed on Dallas. They're going to go to the finals, and I'll tell you right now, Miami's going to finish off the Bulls in 5 games. I'm convinced of that now. After seeing that Sunday game, convinced. It's done. The Bulls are done. They cannot score. I just thought I'd throw that in there. So these series are going to end in 5, and then you're going to have Miami and Dallas, who will play probably, hopefully, it's good for radio. Remember, after the NBA Finals, there would be potentially no sports of significance until next February. Potentially. Think about that. No sports of significance until next February with the potential NBA lockout ending. Because all we're going to have is baseball. And then the baseball lockout ends in December. Or starts, rather, in December. Potentially. The CBA runs out. NFL is locked out right now. The NBA is going to be locked out in July or June. Whatever. After the NBA Finals, there will be no sports of significance in season until possibly next February. That's tough for my show. That's tough for sports media in general. It sucks. Anyway, Oklahoma City is Dallas rather going to win the series in 5 games. I think I'm changing my pick. I can jump off the bag. I can jump off whatever I want to and get on whatever I want to. It's my show. So I'll take Dallas to win in 5 games. I think Miami's going to do the same. Bulls are done. And that's the NBA right now. All right, good stuff. Corey will have your full recap / preview or whatever he wants to do on his program later this evening with Bulls Heat. Thanks for having me in. It's the Ryan Hartson Show on BWC Internet Radio.